Hello, students. Today I'll begin with the explanation of the poem Fern Hill by Dylan Thomas. I'll first read out the text and then I'll give you the explanation of the lines. So I'll continue with the poem stanza wise. I'll first read out the first stanza. Now, as I was young and easy under the apple boughs, about the lilting house and happy as the grass was green, the night above the dingle starry, time let me hail and climb, golden in the heydays of his eyes, and honored among wagons, I was prince of the apple towns. And once below a time I lordly had the trees and leaves trail with daisies and barley down the rivers of the windfall light. Now, Fern Hill is actually considered to be one of the most beautiful and evocative recollections of childhood. Thomas opens the poem like a storyteller. The word now, when he says now as I was young, now here, now does not mean at the present time. No, it is a storyteller's phrase. It is a way to begin a story. Now as I was young. So he's giving an advice to the listeners to sit back and hear a story about his childhood. The word easy here recalls the comfort and freedom from care that adults associate with childhood. So he says that now as I was young and easy, as I was young and comfortable, leading a life of freedom under the apple boughs. So in a natural setting, he spent his childhood. And at that time, he was young and he was leading a very comfortable and a life of liberty and freedom. In the second line, he says, about the lilting house and happy as the grass was green. Now, lilting here means singing. So, actually, the house is not singing. It was the poet who was singing as he was young and easy. So, this can be counted as an example of transferred epithet. Throughout the poem, Thomas combines words that are not ordinarily associated with each other to give the reader a new perspective. So, the term lilting house becomes one of that is full of joy and song. This blend does not give a physical description of the house but an emotional one. The reader experiences the child's pleasure. Now, this is a key technique in Fern Hill as Thomas recreates for the reader the idealized dreams of childhood summers. In addition, he combines cliches to create a surprising new way to present an idea or feeling. Happy as the grass is green does not necessarily translate into a specific identifiable amount of joy. It simply brings the delight of the tongue twisters and nonsense rhymes of childhood. Green, the color of spring and renewal, is used throughout the poem. So, he was leading a very happy and joyous life when he was in his childhood. The third line, the night above the dingle starry. Dingle here refers to valley. So even the nights are filled with stars, as fits the memories of idyllic childhood. The next he says, time let me hail and climb, golden in the heydays of his eyes. His means in the eyes of time. So Thomas here uses personification when he introduces time. Now time grants the child permission to enjoy his days fully, to climb golden under his gaze. His means time's gaze. The use of golden adds the connotation of being charmed, untouched by the ordinary worries of life. So time gave him space to enjoy his days, enjoy his childhood, his heydays. Next he says, and honored among wagons, I was prince of the apple towns. Now, with this line, Thomas recreates childhood play and fantasies. The child becomes the master of all that is around him. The idea of a fairy tale connotation is further reinforced with the word prince. A child's kingdom is fashioned from the world around him. In this case, the apple orchard plays this role. The line also refers to the apple boughs in the first line and the windfall light in line number 9. Such connections help Thomas establish a visual and sensual impression in this poem. So he was quite, honored. He considered himself to be a prince of the apple orchards there. Next he says, and once below a time, I lordly had the trees and leaves trail with daisies and barley down the rivers of the windfall light. And once below a time. So here he has, twisted that phrase once upon a time. Okay. So Thomas returns to the mode of storyteller as he changes the traditional opening of a fairy tale from upon to below. In addition, it reinforces the impression of time as a gentle overseer. As lord of all this place, the child rules the trees and flowers. In the last line of the stanza, Thomas uses beautiful images describing the sunlight in the orchard as rivers of windfall light. Windfall here refers to the apples fallen from the trees, but in addition, the word has a secondary meaning of good fortune or good luck. So both definitions contribute to the emotional sense of the image. So, in a nutshell, we can say that in this first stanza, there is a stroke of sensuousness, undoubtedly, and we get a setting of this story, which is being narrated by Thomas of his childhood days. So, here he says that whenever he recalls his childhood, he realizes that at that time he was young and free to enjoy his life, to enjoy the natural setting around him, and how he used to enjoy his days amongst the apple boughs, apple orchards, how time granted him space, gave him freedom to enjoy himself, to move ahead in his golden days, in his heydays, and how he was the prince of the apple towns, and how he used to enjoy his childhood days with the trees and the leaves trailing with daisies and barley. So, with this, we complete the explanation of the first stanza of Fernhill. Thank you.